All right, everybody. So the dark night of the soul. When we talk about the dark night of the soul, you need to understand that you're pinpointing with that word, dark night of the soul, towards an orb, an accumulation. There's something going on inside of your yin realm, your unconscious, subconscious, and what happens when we accumulate a large amount of thoughts and feelings, and we don't understand how to deal with them. AKA, in your life right now, you can see why you might see it clearly, but you can see that you may have in a form of objectivity, a form about going to do something yang externally that doesn't really make sense in terms of you being able to come new, because devils and demons don't know how to have any form of new angles to attack a situation or thing like that. So a lot of my friends, for example, who try to get together with females, try to practice like manipulation tactics, behind the scene tactics, not wanting their emotions to be seen, not wanting to be their intentions to be seen, because they demons and they live in the demonic realm, and they don't know how to get outside of these natures. But the reason why they give birth to so many demons externally is because there's a lot of things in their yin realm that they have accumulated throughout living their lifetime that they haven't even dealt with, and we'll talk about other bodies as well that they haven't dealt with. So the only thing they know how to do, or people know how to do, is just play out characteristics and attributes that you've been supposed to clean up, you've been supposed to take care of, and you've been supposed to get to the root of the issue, rather than you constantly having to deal with the symptoms that pop up from those things. So keep that in mind also. So when you deal with your dark night of the soul, the dark Schneider of the soul, or the dark Vader or whatever, you have to understand that you're now coming to terms forcefully, literally, like the universe is forcing you and putting you in a position where now you have to address those things, you have to deal with those things, or you will have to pay by you constantly having to manifest those things or deal with the limitations that you have set upon yourself, because now you put yourself in a limited perspective due to that darkness orb that you chose to put yourself inside of, as far as you being an observer. And whenever you're not able to get outside of that as an observer, the universe is always going to put you in a situation where that accumulation of things is gonna have to be, exercised, gotten rid of, made lightweight of. Because look, you've accumulated something that's heavier in mass, but because we deal with the realms of the unseen, we're talking about an orb. It's an accumulation of conscious awareness, lights and things like that. So when you make statements when you were a kid, like oh, I hate my mom and dad, I would do anything to get rid of them. I will do anything to rob, kill, or steal. Now, when you make that emotional statement, now you have bonded yourself to the words that you are saying. Now you're actually summoning a disposition. And so by signing a contract with that demon, you're going to see what you can accumulate from it, but you're also going to see the limitations. And obviously, any demonic entity or parasite, since they don't have a body and you're in a body, they're going to be looking for a host to attach to. Since you're walking in this third dimension of reality and you're actually in a body, again, they want somebody that they can walk the earth with, experience life with. A lot of criminals in prisons that end up in those positions, let's say you're somebody who stabbed somebody. This is a girl in Atlanta that I heard. She stabbed her mother in the back 45 times, and she supposedly ripped her spinal cord. Like her spinal cord was severed. And so you need to understand that this world we live in is actually empowered by demons. People are actually empowered by demonic dispositions. But you can also be empowered by angels, and you can actually learn how to harness both, so you can have the negative, the magnetic realm, and you can have the positive, angelic realm, and things like that. But both are not separate, both are the same thing, and both are literally not good or evil or anything like that. You just have to not to get too lost into these things and learn how to have a harmonious arrangement, not like the spell of Adam and Eve, where you get lost in a desire, aka the snake, which is your root chakra, talking to your right brain, and your right brain is trying to convince your left brain with a feeling, aka justifying to Adam that logically, hey, we should get lost in this feeling. This is why you have a lot of men running around that have a wife, but really behind closed doors, they're either sucking dick, they're gay, which is nothing. There's nothing wrong with it, but again, you're not able to. That tells me that you're not able to control your faculties and things like that, and you're letting the things of the world lead you astray. As far as that being the light, the conscious awareness that you want to follow, so whenever you're sitting down at the dinner table, the only thing you can imagine, the only thing that's on your mind is like sucking dick. Or it could just be like simple shit like, you want to go on a healthy diet. but you got this feeling, you've been eating all these uh food that's been influenced by hormones, biotics, and it's all witchcraft at the end of the day. So they'd be practicing witchcraft on you all from all angles. They'd be putting like hormones and the antibiotics in the food and shit like that. And you go watch the news, they make you get stressed out. So they got like this whole geomancy, geometric formation of witchcraft to trap y'all spirits in and give you guys a really heavy, really dense soul. And by them just simply setting the stage for it and not actually telling you guys to physically do these things, they believe that, this is their God telling them to do this and they got no blood on their hands and this is just something that they're just the messiahs of or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're really just becoming denser and denser and denser and falling lower in the cycle and things like that. They're not becoming lighter, lighter and lighter and are able to separate from those previous bodies and things like that. And so they don't want you guys separating from you guys' mental bodies, aka your dark night of the soul, because they want you guys to be able to come back to this realm again, and they want you guys to be just as dumb humans, and they want to be these Elohims, these archangels, these archdemons ruling over you guys in this experiment you call life. Because every civilization that has existed in the past is actually an experiment brought to you by a Mason. Look at my chest. Be jacked as fuck. Anyways, aside from me being jacked and handsome as fuck, the point being is your dark night of the soul is always gonna come to you. It's always gonna be a moment, a place or thing that's gonna trigger that because that's what's already inside of you, and you better believe it. People, places, and things can sense that from you because you're gonna be playing out of body language. You're gonna be playing out some vibrational tone, some speech. It's just gonna be in your aura. It's gonna be in your energy field, and based on your speech and how you talk and how you ask, people are going to be able to tell, okay, this person doesn't really have confidence. This person is disingenuous, and most people on Earth are disingenuous. 99% of people on Earth are disingenuous, but because that is the norm, and it's like I say in the rap game and the hip hop game, it's seen good to be snarky, to be sneaky, to be backstabbing, and win on top. A lot of people want to play out those characteristics in their own lives and amongst their own friends. So you have a rapper called The Game, because you better understand the game. And me as an angel here bringing on earth, I don't even really want to play these type of games with people, but God is showing me like, okay, Negro, is you gonna keep doing dumb shit, or is you gonna actually understand what's going on in the world and actually gonna start participating with the game properly and how you're supposed to? Because this is the world you were born into. It's a demonic world. It's a world full of people who don't even want to understand why they cry at night, why they get on their knees and pray to Jesus to save them and things like that. AKA you wanting a thought form and a feeling outside of you to come and save you from what you've accumulated, which you should be able to clear up just by, doing certain meditation work, speaking to yourself in a certain way, using certain verbs, using a tone of diction and things like that. And so there's a lot of quote unquote techniques that you can use to clear yourself and things like that. But the most important thing before you even clear yourself, you have to identify the demonic disposition that you're dealing with so you can start to dismantle that thought or feeling. Because that thought and feeling is attached to you. Oh yeah, trust me, I got them too. But I sit them down in the corner and I let them know, motherfuckers, you put your hands up. Because it's a class time and it's time for me to teach you some motherfucking shit. You better believe it. So the same thing you gotta do pretty much is just start to identify those patterns that you do, and you need to actually go deeper below the subconscious, unconscious threshold because you're doing something consciously, but you're gonna have to look at that and you're gonna have to work back and see what is the reason as to why you're really participating in that. Because let's say, for example, one thing I was dealing with was what's one thing I was dealing with, because I got plethora of demons. I'd be finding a new one every single day. I'm like, damn, you still around in my mind? Fuck, let me eradicate your ass, god damn it. Let's see. One thing would be I used to rehearse things in my mind rather than coming naturally, coming as is to people because I wanted to sound intelligent. I wanted to sound like, I knew what I was talking about, but I would work back and I really learned that, that was just me being disingenuous and me wanting to create an image to be seen and things like that, because these are the practices, and there's nothing wrong with creating an image and wanting to be seen and things like that for a certain way, because with chances are when you go into this demonic, and this is why I even developed that in the first place, because I'm living in this demonic world, and me living in this demonic world, I had to learn certain things. I had to learn how to create an image and project myself a certain way, so people understand who the fuck they dealing with, and people don't get the wrong idea that they can mess with me the wrong way and get away with it. But you don't need to be living in that thought form. There's all these stars in the heavens, and we be picking the most dumbest one. We picking the most dumbest position out of all of them. There's a whole lot of angles to come, whole lot of geometric angles to attack people, places, and things. Now you don't have to attack places and things, but hey, if push come to shove and you gotta fight fire with fire, you do what the fuck you gotta do, because motherfuckers gotta learn one way or another, and God might be putting you in someone's life right now so they can learn how far they can go for something based on them doing it with other people and getting away with it. They might think that, hey, I can get away with this again and again and again. So you gotta let a motherfucker know how far they can go, so they don't fucking row their boat near you like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? So because motherfuckers really be pirates in this motherfucking shit like that. You better believe it, they be trying to pillage your ship. They're trying to take your feelings for granted, and and in fact, they want to get married to your feelings and shit like that. But that's a whole other study for another time. So you gotta remember, Dark Night of the Soul, you're basically meeting what you call a shadow priest, and the shadow priest is reminding you, hey, look, I got this long ass scroll of things that you ain't dealt with. So, hey, homie, you gotta pay rent now, or the debt's gonna increase, homeboy, and it's gonna be interest rate on it. You better believe it. Cause why the fuck do you think you're in the body right now? Cause you still running away from things that you should have dealt with in past lives and shit like that, and that shit is chasing you in this lifetime as well. These parasites, they ain't going nowhere. To them, you're their father, you're their mother, you gave birth to them. They want to stay within you, and you the only way they know how to go about things. And so when you clear yourself up, you're helping all existences on all levels, because now they can look at you as an example, you being the deity, and these thought forms and cells inside of you being the entities. They can look at you like, oh yeah, look at our God, look at our Father in heaven. He's so wise and mighty. I want to be just like him one day. And so when you just play out that attribute and characteristics of being authentic, being genuine, not hiding from nothing, listen to your gut feeling, having your gut, your heart, and your mind connected, and not disassembled, because this world's gonna make you disassemble them and things like that. So you gotta be able to bring yourself back together and be more holistic and not be lost in anything. So yeah, this is just a short video right here.